KBSA members aren't forced to do anything. We're such good entrepreneurs, business leaders in your own right. So we're not forcing you to do finance. We're not forcing you to buy a Ford motor car.
The amount that we pay per month compared to the benefits that are on tap, it's just a no-brainer for me.
The manufacturers are excited to partner with us.
How we purchase things is changing rapidly, and finance is a big part of that, I think.
We want to do more with members. We want to do more with the government and attack that, and we need some numbers for that.
I'm vetted, I'm audited, I know that my company is a great company. I will sell more products because it gives people confidence. Hi guys, and welcome along to what is, if I'm correct, the very first KBSA podcast.
Numero uno.
Absolutely, yes. So I'm Luke Wedgbury, one of the board members of the KBSA, and I'm joined with a man who needs no introduction, but you can introduce yourself, mate.
And I'm Richard, chair of the KBSA for 7 years now, and ready to go on this journey with Luke into the next phase.
7 years.
As chair, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so let's kick things off then. In the last 7 years, how has the KBSA changed?
Quite a lot, I would say. I think we've gone from something that was very much consumer orientated in the way of supporting the consumer to knowing that consumers have already got a lot of support, and we will always support consumers because that's what it started as, but we've kind of made it more of what it should be, a trade association for its members. Yeah. And there's a lot more benefits. We've obviously got the conference really, really heightened now to a superb level. Yeah. I mean, we've got our own offices now. We've got a strong board, which we'll talk about more later. I just think we've really looked at what the market needed and made sure we're there now.
I remember joining the KBSA as a retailer. I don't know how many years ago. You have more information than me, but I remember as a retailer thinking I should do this.
Yeah.
I need to, before I became a board member. And I think in that period of time, maybe 4 years, I was a retailer member, and then I became a board member. Let's say it's a 4-year span. The KBSA for me has changed significantly.
Yeah.
Not only from the perception of what we offer now, but from a structural bit.
Yeah.
In the sense of how it's now organised. You mentioned the KBSA now has a head office. We have members of staff in there. We have a social media manager.
Yeah.
We have people who are specifically tasked to do things. And the board has grown significantly.
Yeah.
But I think currently, I don't know if you agree, the board is so strong.
Yeah.
So remind us of the kind of new members who are coming in on the board and how it's looking at the minute.
So I mean, since the start, we've obviously increased the membership. We've kind of tweaked, rather than it being about areas, being about people now. But we've got, I mean, the latest, we've got Lindsay and Sarah coming on board.
Great.
Nice to have some more females on the board.
Perfect.
Obviously.
It's needed.
Yeah. We've had Jamie and Alex join.
Great members.
Great businesses.
Great retailers,
people. Yeah. And they, all four of those really care about the industry, which is nice. Not just their own business, but giving back as well. And Cora's come on the bathroom side.
She's been brilliant.
And get a lot of passion.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of energy. She does bring a lot of energy.
But sorry to interrupt. A lot of people don't realise that these retailers who come onto the board do it for the love of it.
Yeah.
In the sense of there's a passion there for the industry. They look at it, like I remember when I did it, and I was asked to join the board, and the first thing you think is, well, what can I offer?
Yeah.
You go, well, I'm a retailer, what can I offer? And then you kind of go, well, actually, I'd love the opportunity to maybe be able to tweak a few things that makes it easier for other retailers.
Yeah.
And that's why I joined. So when new people come onto the board, I always think they must have the same mindset. They must have the same passion,
I think
same
so.
as you.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I answered I think it was on one of the original conferences, which were really small and there wasn't many people there, and I filled in the sort of form at the end of it, and they said, would you help the association? I thought, oh yeah, I would help the association.
And here we are today.
Here we are. But it was about, I mean, for me, I've always seen, when my dad started, there was so much sort of, from a consumer side of things, looking into the kitchen industry, there's so much cowboy and all that. I wanted to make a difference.
Yeah.
And that was my sort of focus when I wanted to help. But today is just the more we can help, the better.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And I
know.
think what's interesting, there's parallels in growth in the sense of our retailers are growing,
Yeah.
as our members.
Yeah,
We're having
yeah.
more retail members. We have a lot more corporate members coming through, manufacturers who are supporting the KBSA. And at the same time, the board, the business, let's call it the business as a KBSA, although we have to stress and people don't realize this is a non-for-profit organization, absolutely no profit within the business. It all gets pumped back in. But that's grown as well. And I think we wanted to touch on that on this podcast and talk about the structural changes, which I know you've spearheaded a lot of these working with other people. But talk us through that, the structural changes of the organisation and how that's going to work.
So I think early days when I joined, we probably didn't have this structure in place, and there was a lot of I just had to go and do it. And we did have staff and other people doing it, so it wasn't just me doing it. And we had other board members, but now the passion of the board members and the building the strong group up has meant we can deliver these changes. And so I'll probably go straight into the first one is a vice chair. I'm delighted that you've accepted to be that, and someone who's been on the board for a while. The experience you've built up, I think, will be great as a vice chair. So really, really happy to have you on board.
I'm absolutely delighted to do it, and I was delighted to be asked. And there were a few conversations around it and what the role involves. But I think to anybody watching this podcast, what's important to realise is that I'm going to call you Mr. KBSA. And that doesn't come with any kind of, that's a warranted statement. You do so much for the KBSA and the organisation that when you look at the structure, you need some support.
Yeah.
It needs to be structured properly, not just Richard and then the board, which has been for so long. I've sat in so many meetings that you've chaired really well and walked away from the meeting, and I've got a to-do list of one thing, and you've got a to-do list of 20. So we needed to do something about that. We needed to structure it differently. And I'm delighted to help out. So yeah, I'm your right-hand man. How's that going to work?
We're partners.
How many sugars do you have in your tea?
None, actually.
No sugar, I remember that. Is it coffee?
Yeah, it's straight off. No sugar at all now.
Okay.
Getting old.
Well, I remember that then. That's nice and easy.
And for us, it's then not just about us. And that's the beauty now, is the structure. What it's brought is each board member will have their own role and their own speciality. And that's the brilliant thing about going away from regional to bringing in people specifically for their passion and their expertise. So, yes, it worked in the day where you had, and it's important to have people spread out. And we've got someone in Scotland.
Across the UK.
We've got someone almost down in Cornwall way.
Heath is Land's End, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. And he does get to all the events and he does put his time in and all that. But what it's meant is now we can go, right, we've got a really big, impressive conference. We need people dedicated to that conference. We want to do education training in a bigger way.
Yeah.
We've got 2 people looking after that. And that's exciting, to be honest. What's coming with that is CPD and options is really exciting. We've got people looking after the sales side, the marketing side. And so rather than me having to dip my toe into every one, we've got people really specialising in that field.
Yeah.
And it just means things get done quicker.
Yeah.
More efficiently.
Yeah. And also without doubt, to a higher standard.
Yeah.
When you've got the right people in the right places doing the right thing.
Yeah.
There's many things that you learn as a retailer or as a business owner or even an entrepreneur, but the one thing that's really important is you should stay in your lane.
Yeah.
And when you start multitasking and doing lots of things, you do lots of things but not very well. So a great point to what you've just mentioned, we talked about Cora earlier.
Yeah.
Cora's come onto the board, bathroom retailer. So since Cora's come onto the board, she has then attracted, she's almost like a magnet for bathroom retailers and bathroom corporates. And now the bathroom side of the KBSA, which is something that we're really keen to build up, has now become quite substantial.
Yeah.
Our bathroom retailers are really chomping at the bit to join us. We're having lots of join us all the time on a rolling basis, and also the manufacturers as well. And we have to kind of go, well, how did that come about? Well, it's because we decided to bring Cora into the board.
Yeah.
who was a bathroom specialist, and we said to Cora, "This is your little baby. Can you increase this area?" And what a job she's done.
Yeah,
It's been
brilliant.
outstanding. Yeah, and it's just
And the feedback on that is kind of like, because we are the only trade association for this industry and these retailers, it's really important. And the bathroom guys were like, what, we haven't heard of this before.
Yeah.
This is something for us, and they're excited. The manufacturers are excited to partner with us. Some are offering special deals. Some are, they're really excited to get involved in the training, the education. They've got a lot to give. So adding that extra sort of wing on our association that we've always had, we just haven't focused enough on,
we haven't tapped into it.
is now just going to allow us to grow
Yeah.
even quicker, really.
Yeah. And the growth plans then for the KBSA, I think 2026 is going to be a big year for us.
Yeah.
I think we've made some changes in the organisation in regards to how we bring new people in.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to kind of getting that up and running.
Yeah, simplified. Not. We haven't taken any layers of credibility out or anything like that. So it's not like we're just saying we're going to accept anyone in, and we're
not
trying
at
to get other people's customers.
Yeah,
we're sticking to what we know. But
we've actually made it better.
yeah, made it better, made it more simple, easier forms. So all of that has come in coincide with the new website and everything like that, and the new CRM.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's been a lot going on.
There's loads, yeah.
Yeah.
And the new website's brilliant.
Yeah.
We've decided to make it.
You worked on that, so.
Well, I suppose that was another kind of break-off team from the board.
Yeah.
We said, right, the website needs some tweaks, and instead of taking the whole of all the information that we need to 8-9 board members, and then wait 8-9 months for the board members to get back to us, we took a team of 4 of us to begin with, and decided to make the tweaks to the website. But the tweaks to the website were only specifically to serve the people it was designed to serve.
Yeah.
We felt like it needed to add some value. So now when you go onto the website, and if you do get a chance to go onto the website, you should go on there. Once you land on the website, you'll see a split screen, and it's very simple. You click on one side if you're a retailer, and you click on one side if you're a consumer, which really helps us as retailers, because we can send our consumers to the website and they won't get confused.
Yeah.
They don't see anything other than the things that add value to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's another good thing of a kind of task force from the board.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I can see it. It allows me to support everyone. And obviously, becoming a board member, you need to understand about the KBSA and the inner sanctum and the rules, and because the rules are there to protect the non-for-profit and the members. But it takes a year or so to build all that information up. I mean, I don't even think I know all the I check them sometimes, think, is that right? But having me then able to help with everyone and have the experience of what I've done in the past is going to allow them to grow.
Yeah.
But also us to get so much done.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I couldn't think of anyone better to have at the top of the tree, having a bit of an overview. We'll call you the drone.
Yeah.
You could just, that comes from a good place. You can just watch over and make sure things are running smoothly. And I think it's a great thing for the KBSA. We've had internal discussions around our growth strategy, especially around new retailers, bringing new retailers in. And I think our focus is in the right position, in the sense of we're looking for quality, not necessarily, quantities. We're looking for the right retailers to join us, because we want to protect our brand, in the sense of the KBSA is a trade association. And if you are a member of the trade association, a member of the KBSA, we want you to feel like there's some value in that.
Yeah.
And if every Tom, Dick and Harry was a member of the KBSA, then there's not that much value there, is there? And I think the fact that the changes and tweaks we've made only underpin the fact that we want the right retailers joining us.
Yeah, and to be honest, there's a lot of them out there. So, for us to grab another 250, 300 members, it wouldn't dilute what we do, but it would add to it.
Absolutely.
So we can do more. Obviously, what we do now already, manufacturers, I mean, like the Ford deal. I mean, in March, 40% of certain cars.
Great, isn't it?
And for an independent who buy maybe one van, 2 cars, 2 vans, small amount in terms of what Ford or Audi or whatever, they're going, well, this is a serious organisation with a lot of potential. And my story was when I bought my Ford car and I got the discount,
Yeah.
the actual retailer had a bit of a pop at me about how did I get such a good deal on one car.
Okay.
And it didn't affect the retailer, the,
No.
the actual manufacturer paid for it, but it shows how good a deal it was.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're even better now. I
Yeah.
mean, I think till the end of March on some of the electric vehicles, it is literally 40% off.
Off the retail price.
And it's bonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, I know one customer say 4,500 on a van. That's like 4 years
It's incredible.
membership
Yeah.
and a bit of change.
Yeah,
So,
and I think that's a good point. The membership fee, which is as a retailer, it doesn't. I don't take this the wrong way, but I don't even see it. Like it's next to nothing. It's
No.
like it goes out quarterly, monthly. I don't even know, but the amount that we pay per month or per quarter or however we decide to pay as a retailer,
yeah,
compared to the benefits that are on tap.
yeah.
It's just a no-brainer for me.
Yeah,
So have you used the legal helpline before? I've
Yeah,
used that.
yeah.
I've rang and asked
Yeah.
questions around that.
Yeah.
Some tricky questions, and they've helped us out.
Yeah, the nice thing I like about the legal helpline is if you've got a tricky customer, a staff member, health and safety, whatever it is, you can get to the right people. But then if you've got a follow-up, everything's logged. You can go back to the same person.
Yeah.
You can go, and each time you speak to someone who you'd spend £250 paying,
Just getting support.
and it's sometimes the little things that especially I always sort of say when you talk about Wren Kitchens, they've got a HR department, they've got a legal department, you've got everything there and multiples of it.
Yeah.
In my business, you've got salespeople, you've probably got order processes, that type of thing, but you haven't got legal on tap. You might pay for your HR, but you probably pay more for your HR than you would pay for KBSA membership.
Yeah, of
and
course.
that shows how much value is in it.
Yeah, how much is needed.
Um,
Let's talk about the benefits then. So what are the benefits? I mean, off the top of my head, the Dell deal as well on the computers has
I
always
use
been
that,
good.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
20%.
the Ford thing's really good. We've just started the electric car scheme.
Yes, we've got salary sacrifice.
Salary sacrifices put in there with special rates for KBSA members. So I think it just goes to show. You mentioned the big guys like the Wixes and the Wren, and
Yeah, yeah.
often as retailers we look at them and we think, oh, it's all right for you guys being able to
Yeah.
do this. But being a member of the KBSA allows you to tap into the benefits that they have on tap anyway.
Yeah,
They're there for us to use.
exactly. And they're only going to get more with more members.
Yeah.
And the other side of it is we focus on our members. So the finance deal, not only have we sifted out the ones that aren't right for members, so
Yeah, of course.
they're not real finance offers. They're kind of, I call them sharks in that way. So we sift them out. And then the ones we do who support us and we support them because they're the right people and the right companies, not only do we just go, all right, now you offer it to members, we then push them. So I've just started retail finance in my own company. And the most amazing things happen in the last couple of years through KBSA chats and things. And now we get a document that we get our customers to sign.
Okay.
So it basically says when the job's delivered, you will be paying the retailer. And so instead of waiting, if you do a kitchen, you could be 4 or 5 weeks down the line before you've finished and then a door's scratched. The customers aren't going to sign off on the finance until that's 100% finished.
Yeah.
And so it's fine on an individual, but if you've got 5 finance jobs going through, then cash
Flow is a big problem.
So this new document is signed by the consumer as part of the the process of signing up to a job. And that means that they know that when we deliver, they've got to sign for it. The finance will start, their first payment will be in a month's time.
Yeah.
And it even says in there, your job may not be finished when your finance starts.
But it's
that means our retailers are being paid.
yeah.
at the
Cash flows
start of the
there.
job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had this conversation with a lot of retailers, funnily enough, at the conference.
Yeah.
So we talked about finance and how we think it might be a big part of the industry moving forward. I completely agree. We use it at one of our showrooms over at Lutterworth, and I think we're going to use it at our main showroom in Colville as well. Only because my argument was this. I had lots of conversations with people. They said, oh, we've got to pay for it. Where's the money come from? And my argument was, well, yes, as a retailer, it's going to cost me a little bit of money to offer finance. There's going to be, because you can't, there's lots of rules around this unit.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't build in the cost it's going to do to the kitchen. It's completely against the law. You have to be dead open and transparent. So there has to be a cost to you as a business. But But my argument to that is when people say, oh, I can't afford to pay for the finance, it's another overhead. I go, well, let's go back 10, 15 years. 15 years, how were you designing kitchens? Oh, well, pen and paper, draw it out, and that's it. Again, that was free. Yeah, that was free. And then when you got your design software and you had to pay for that, did you then pass that on to the customer? Oh, no, I couldn't do that, could I? No. But I bet now your design software is almost costing you a monthly fee, and I bet it's quite chunky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, but you don't even think about it. You don't even bat an eyelid.
No.
You just go, well, this is part of the business. It's
Yeah.
part of my overhead. I strongly believe in 10 years' time, we'll be having conversations around finance and how I can't believe we didn't do it 10 years ago. And now it's just part of the business.
Oh, yeah.
And that's generational, in my opinion. I think there's a generation of people coming through who are conditioned and almost programmed to kind of go, well, why should I have use my chunk of money?
Yeah.
Not only because they don't like spending it, but B, they're probably not going to have it.
Yeah.
They're much prefer to buy things on finance.
Yeah. It's changed a lot.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's, especially younger generations.
Subscription world it is, isn't it?
Yeah. It's that whole world, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
I've got my Netflix, I've got my Disney, I've got my kitchen, I've got my TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everything is how much is it a month, how much is it a week?
How we purchase things is changing rapidly, and finance is a big part of that, I think.
Yeah, and by offering something that's good quality, that's the difference with the KBSA. We look at our membership, we look at what it's like in practice.
Yeah.
And then we don't just stop there, we push them further. And this latest thing with the sign off for the money is just game changing, I think.
Yeah, works
absolutely game changing.
Yeah, good.
And you can choose. If you want to do 4.9% and beat everyone on the market, it's going to cost you quite a bit more money. If you want to offer interest free, I don't personally, because I don't really believe in it. But for me, I think I've gone 9.9 or 10.9 at the moment.
Competitive.
Competitive
it's an option,
in the
isn't
market. And it will come down as everything else drops.
Yeah.
But that's what I feel comfortable with. That might change over the years, but
I think
it allows the flexibility for you to do what you want within your business. So, and that's key. KBSA members aren't forced to do anything. They're individual. In England, we're such good entrepreneurs, business leaders in your own right. So we're not forcing you to do finance. We're not forcing you to buy a Ford motor car or have an Amiga kitchen over a Beckerman kitchen or a Neff appliance. It's all there and the support's there, but we want you to be as individual as possible, but we have that support network there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the buying power and that.
Yeah. No, good. So the conference. Changes to the conference. So I do know, because I have the inside information on these things, that we have booked the conference for 2027.
Yes.
So what's the date on that?
So it'll be May 13th, 2027. This isn't, we've looked at it for a little while. That the date that we did it was tough because of all the German trips, the new product launches, at the end of the holidays, people wanting to go on holiday. It's coming up to Christmas. There's other events on that time. And we've always looked at it and we thought with KBB being 2026, with it being a tough year, 2025 for a lot of people, this year we could grow our membership, grow our offering, and it'll give us the opportunity to move the conference to a better date. It was too quick to do it May 26. So we thought this is the best time to do it, which will allow it to be bigger, better.
Yeah. It all makes sense, really. So essentially what we're going to do is pick the conference up. We're going to bypass 2026, straight to 2027. But what that does, that allows us to pick the date we want. Because if we wanted to do May 2026 this year, impossible, too soon, we can't do that. We know that date's a lot better for everybody. So May 2027 is the conference. 2026, obviously there's a big void there. And we wanted to ensure that the retailers weren't kind of left well, what's happening this year? So you mentioned we're going to do these regionals, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some chats over the last week, really. We're thinking of getting some more partners like the Christ involved and sharing customers, sharing budgets and making sure we can do things better. I think collaboration these days is real key because time is the essence. So do you want to go to 3 events in June or do you want to do one real quality event?
Yeah.
And so dates aren't set yet, but we're even looking at doing one day in the south or London or something like that. And then day two, maybe have day two is moving day, day three. So Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then maybe the Thursday in, say, Manchester.
Brilliant. North
And
and
have
south.
almost the same event
Yeah.
run twice.
Yeah.
And people don't have to travel as much, but also we'll cover
Yeah.
the whole country in 2 goes. So by collaborating, we can have bigger event rather than it being a 10, 12 people. We can have a proper event.
Proper, yeah. A proper room.
Yeah.
And add some proper value.
Yeah,
That'd be
so that's
nice.
the key, yeah,
It's
some
kind of
value,
like
yeah.
it's kind of like 2 mini conferences this year.
Yeah.
So we're going to do 2 mini me's,
Yeah.
and then 2027, back to the big me.
Yeah.
And then where have we booked?
So we've kept it at the Belfry.
Brilliant.
The feedback. We know it's good for location.
It's right in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah. It allows us to grow, and the size of that place, but actually the quality of it.
Yeah.
Is so nice, and it's quite nice being out in the countryside, but being close to the amenities.
Yeah.
And actually turning up somewhere where there's space and you can wander around. There's a spa. So if we went to somewhere in London that was very enclosed and things like that, it changes the dynamic of it.
Yeah.
And I think the way they've built the new venue is it kind of works with our interior businesses. It gives a bit of, the quality of the finish, the modern look of it is added to our conference as well.
I remember doing a social media video to push the conference last year, which we didn't need to in the end. It was great. We sold loads of tickets. And it was a brilliant conference. But I remember my tone on that video was actually, it was less about the conference and more about the retailer. So we as the KBSA, we put a conference on and we hire a big room and we get some speakers in and we do a dinner and it's all great. But actually the important part is, people think that that's what the important part is that we draw them to the conference. People think that's the important bit. It's not. The important bit is that we drag them away from their business.
Yeah.
That's the important bit. People don't realise, and I didn't realise this as a retailer until I started doing business development and I've got 2 mastermind groups that I'm part of anyway with different business owners. I didn't realise the value of removing yourself from the business for 24, 48 hours and just going, right, okay, I want to just look at my business from afar. And that's what the conference does.
Yeah.
And I speak to so many retailers, not necessarily when you're in the room listening to the speakers, but when you have a coffee and when you're just about to have some dinner and you get, how's things? And they go, oh, do you know what? Things are okay. I've had a tough year, actually. And you start pulling things out of them. And it's almost like a therapy session.
Yeah.
And people love it. People kind of,
It's the comfort of knowing that you're not on your own.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in a room full of people who were in exactly the same sector, going through the same challenges.
You normally pick up some tips. I mean, even if someone says, oh, actually, I've been seeing that. And what I did was, and they go, oh, yeah, because KBSA members do share. We're not a closed group. We share and we help each other as well. So
absolutely.
The other side of it.
Yeah. I'd love to do more of that, actually, just as a caveat while we're talking about. I'd love to do more mastermind group development groups.
Yeah, we have looked at that in the past.
Yeah.
And we've looked at something I'm passionate about is helping newer businesses.
Yeah.
And so having almost like a buddy system for new businesses when they come on board, it's tough in the first 2 years.
Good God.
And that's why I'm keen to keep because the main membership is 2 years old or more. You've got your financials. You can do all the access to everything.
Yeah.
Where when you're a new business, sometimes it's harder. But we wanted to give you the support, so we still kept the entry level if you're under 2 years. But I think that and the networking and things is key.
Yeah, I think it's vital. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Most KBB owners, right? They are. And I'm generalising here, so forgive me, but most of them they come from 2 ilks. You're either a sales designer who's working for somebody and goes, I fancy doing this on my own.
Yeah,
so you open a retail showroom, or you're a kitchen fitter or bathroom fitter, and you go, I think I could do this. I'd do a little bit on my own. But nobody actually, there's nowhere to go where they teach you how to run a business. It's a different animal.
Yeah.
You can be an installer, you can be a designer, you could almost be a manager or an installations manager. But then going from that world into a business where absolutely you need to do everything all at once. You've got to design, install, project manage, look after your clients, do all the ordering, take care of all the social media. There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
And there's nobody there to kind of go, this is how you do that. Being able to tap into a KBSA retailer who's done it for the past 10, 15, 20 years is like gold dust. I wish I had that.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
Goodness me.
even like taking on your first designer, I've spoken to loads of members and they've gone, oh, I'm taking on first designer. We're doing it like this. And I said, oh, have you got a, minimum margin in before you get your share of that profit?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, why would I need that? And it's not so much saying that the designer's going to be, the designers need rules to be able to, so you can make money, they can make money, and it all works at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
it's little bits, snippets that go, oh yeah, actually, it just gives you that little bit more. And before you make the mistake, you can get the knowledge before you make the mistake.
Yeah.
You learn from your mistakes, but it's nicer to
Well, the
learn from
idea,
someone else.
learn from somebody else's mistakes. That's it, and we've all been there and done that. And I've had various conversations with retailers where they've asked me. They know the likes of yourself and me who've been in the industry for a long time, and they would come to advice and go, right, I'm about to take on an installations manager. What are your thoughts around that? And I've kind of give them my thoughts.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with someone just before Christmas. On the phone, randomly rings me. Quick question. I'm about to interview an install manager. I'm like, I won't give names away. I'm like, okay. What are your thoughts? And I said, well, talk to me about the candidate. And they said straight away, well, he's a really good fitter. Oh, well, there's your first mistake. Don't for a second think that just because he's a good installer, he's going to be a good manager. A good installer is more of a doer. Yeah. He's great at what he does. Actually managing people, does he have those qualities? Does he have the ability to manage all the different trades? Probably not. So, and then they were like, what? So everyone I'm interviewing there have all been previous installers as well. Maybe you need to think differently because you haven't found the right person yet. Yeah. You need a manager. That's what you need. You don't need a fitter. You need a manager, someone who could manage people. Doesn't matter what they're doing. And they hired somebody recently who wasn't an installer.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, good. Yeah. And they said, we found the right person and she's brilliant. It wasn't a he, it was a her. Yeah. I said, there you go. And they were like, well, we never even thought of a girl. I was like, well, girls do stuff as well,
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, so it's worked really well. But just that little bit of, just that little bit of insight.
I mean, our members, the core of the membership is just so experienced, but not to the point where they're out and, they're really in it. And some of the learnings you get, and what I hear at conferences, because I'm normally running here, there, and everywhere at the conference, and I'm walking past, and I'm kind of listening and going, "That's really good advice he's just giving it on. That's really great." And I love hearing all that at the conference, and that's one of the big key developers of the conference is we've put in big networking blocks during the day. And that's not just to see our partners and our other people. That's really to network and
those moments,
and I think is what some of the biggest takeaways have been from just speaking to your peers and
absolutely
taking that away. But I love hearing nowadays that we've built up such an offering that it's a no-brainer as well, because I hear that all the time. I mean, Jamie's a board member now. Only probably 6 months.
Yeah.
But when he joined, he was like, and he's a quality businessman. He's very smart and he's got a really good business. And his words to me, it's absolutely no brainer.
Yeah.
It's like, I get more back than I actually give you.
Yeah.
So he's almost telling us to put the prices up. But that's it. The price hasn't gone up for 10 years. And actually, if we do double our membership, you could even see the price come down, but get more. It's all about that, and we want to do more with members. We want to do more with the government and attack that, and we need some numbers for that.
Yeah. Which we get in there. We get in there slowly but surely, but it's quality members.
Quality,
And it's nice to know that when you become a member, it's nice to know that you jump through those hoops.
Yeah.
And there's not many to go through, but they're there for a reason. It's nice
you can use that in your pitch, can't you?
Exactly.
I use it as a bit like Atoll for the holiday industry. You wouldn't go
That's what I say to everybody.
Holiday, not be able to get home, and it's the same sort of thing.
And the conversation I've had with retailers before, where they've said to me, "Okay, Lily, why are you a member?" And my knee jerk is always because I want to sell more kitchens.
Yeah.
And they go, well, that's not what the KBSA is about. I go, no, it's not about that. The KBSA is there to support us as retailers, but as a consumer. The consumer doesn't care about the support for the retailers. The consumer only cares about them.
Yeah.
So if I say to all of my consumers, I'm a KBSA member, and who else in the area is or isn't, I'm vetted, I'm audited, I know that my company is a great company, I will sell more products because it gives people confidence. So it is a no-brainer. For me, it's a no-brainer.
And I don't think in tough times, I don't think it's a coincidence that our members are stronger in tougher times and can
Yeah.
pivot out of it better. And the support's there, whether, you know, in COVID was massive. I mean, we got showrooms open, we got Wren shut at one point when they were open, when we weren't. And just the general webinars and information and that was just key. And that carries on. It, you know, it's not just because it was COVID. That's what we do all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going to keep saying it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely is, yeah. Okay, so that's podcast Umo Numo 1
Yeah.
finished and done, finalised. Maybe the next podcast you won't see us. Maybe
Yeah,
you'll
well,
maybe
hopefully
some more handsome people. I don't know. We got us ugly mugs this time, but maybe it'll be someone different. But for now, we'll sign off with the chair and indeed the vice chair. And we will always sign off any podcast to let everybody know that we are here to support you. So please, if you are a KBSA member, get in touch with us with any details. And if you're not a KBSA member, get in touch and let's see what we can do for you. Okay, take care, guys. Bye-bye.